So, yeah, the first question was, dear Lord, do you have information about actual VOC sensor embedded in indoor air quality monitors you have tested?
We know that those sensors are semiconductor, but we don't know the label or we don't know the manufacturer of the VOC. I would say the small sensors, the 10 euro sensors. I don't know the manufacturer of them. We just wanted to buy the standalone sensors.
Okay, thank you. Did you reference measurements by tube sampling?
No, we didn't, in fact.
Oh, you are quick. Which technology for the 3 tested sensor? MOS, PID?
MOS.
MOS? Okay, let's go faster. Will the presentation be available online? Yeah, I have this answer.
Sure. Maria has made a chat, and it will be soon in few days.
Yeah. Oops, sorry. Are you aware of any source online database for particle or VOC measurements using low-cost devices?
A database? No, I'm not aware. If you have some information of such open source online database, I'm interested, but no, I'm not.
Okay. So this is done. Is it too early to rely on this PM VOC sensor? On the old humidity sensor can still be used to detect indoor air quality. Shouldn't we focus on correlation between humidity and PM or VOC?
Oh, I think it's 2 questions. So the first one is, yes, old humidity sensor can still be used to detect AIQ. For the recent workshop in, I would say, last year, it was 1 year ago in Brussels for metrics for AIQ. That's the problem. He says that AIQ can be measured by several criteria or several metrics, and those metrics are particulate matter, CO2, and those organic compounds, and humidity also, and formaldehyde. So, first of all, yes, we still can rely on humidity sensors for some use, and the correlation between. Oh, okay. The question is, does the value of VOC and particulate matter change with humidity? We don't know if VOC is reflecting humidity by the change, or if the humidity affects the VOC sensor. So for me, it's not possible to say that we will be able to measure humidity by a VOC or particulate matter sensor. I'm not sure I could answer the question.
Okay. Did you make tests with the pure calibrated gas for VOC sensor?
So we would have liked to do tests with a calibrated gas, but the big matter is that when we contact the society that should give us this calibrated gas in a bottle, for the very low level that we wanted to have, it was very difficult to have a low concentration. We would have to buy a bottle with high concentration. Well, we wanted to have a complex gas anyway. And to have a complex gas bottle with low concentration, the problem is that the uncertainties of this gas for calibration was already 15%. And we decided that, and with 15%, then we have to use a dilution process, which increase the uncertainties. So we decided not to put in place heavy and expensive calibration procedure that will give us a reference measurement with uncertainties higher than 20%.
Okay. Can a VOC sensor be calibrated to better measure an individual VOC?
A VOC sensor will measure VOC. Yes, if you are sure that in the air that you want to test, there's only one VOC, I would say why not? But I'm not sure that you will be able to select the air with just one VOC.
Okay. What is the relative humidity of the experimental environment? Does the relative humidity will influence the results?
We did not analyze the link between the relative humidity and the results for the moment.
Okay.
We guess that for a VOC sensor does an influence of relative humidity, but especially temperature more than relative humidity. And for particulate matter, we didn't proceed to the test to make the link between for the impact of the relative humidity. Okay.
The health effects of VOC are highly dependent on its exact nature. Therefore, are sensor measuring a total VOC signal useful at all?
Yes. First of all, we wanted to focus on a sensor measuring formaldehyde only. But the matter is that formaldehyde is at so low concentration in indoor air quality that for a dynamic results, it was not possible to have the good sensors. So we decided, in fact, to make a study or experimentation on the available sensors on the market. And available sensors on the market for EAQ, for low cost, for the moment I've seen VOC measuring the total VOC, and for the moment, well, I don't know any other sensor with measuring only one of them with enough accuracy.
Okay, what does it mean when the tested sensor measures a concentration bigger than the reference sensor? Are they committing a mistake?
There's two things. The reference sensors, I said that we have to make some hypotheses on the density used, because our reference sensor is a counter of particles. So for us, it was to have an idea on what was generated. Secondly, I don't know if it's an error in the interpretation. Maybe. Is it a mistake? I don't know.
Okay, so please define what is a hold humidity sensor. I think it was related to the question you were answering about the humidity able to be correlated with the...
Maybe I should have a look from who asked the question on humidity sensor. I think it's sensors used in typical French DCV. It's well, sensor used since 30 years in France, Do you think is it old enough?
No, I think you have talked about the old humidity sensor when we were talking about the impact.
Yes, it was a question.
I think it's mechanical.
I think the old has been used in reference to my title, new AIQ sensors. And with my title, new AIQ sensors, the new means that less than 5 years, and with almost almost no knowledge on their reliability, accuracy, and durability in long term.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a well correlation between CO2 and VOC? No, there is. It's not a question. It's a comment. Sorry. There is a well correlation between CO2 and VOC. Do you want to comment on the comment?
Yes, it's a comment. Yes, there's a correlation, but sometimes you can have VOC results. Well, there's a response, but the VOC sensors oftenly see more pollutant than CO2. So the problem by using VOC sensor to give a CO2 results is that sometimes you will have a high level of CO2 or increase of your CO2 results, whereas there's no increase of real CO2. I don't know if it's clear what I say. The sensor will give false results.
Okay. There is a group at University of Saarbrücken which developed a tool for low gas concentrations. So again,
thank you for the information.
More comments. For DCV, we don't need an accurate assessment, but certainty that cooking is on or toilets are used, for instance. Can some of the sensors achieve that purpose?
It depends what we mean by DCV. Maybe, in my point of view, DCV can allow to go very low in the airflow rates. And I know that some system already integrate some VOC sensor in their ventilation system, but it's in order to go higher than the normal airflows. And for this purpose, yes, it can be useful. Just want to aware that be careful not to go too lower by using VOC sensors for the moment. But and even if you say that you will increase your ventilation based on this VOC sensor, maybe you have to be careful with the durability in the time. Okay, so what? This one, ISO 60000 part 29. 16, what do you say to your invited? 16, yes, sorry, 16,000 part 29. Okay. 16,000 part 29. Like that? This one is for the VOC sensors, and it gives you ISO, not IQ. And it gives you some example of matrix of gas to test those sensors. And there is also an ISO standard that is under development for a particulate matter system, and it's the part 34. I'm not participating to this ISO group, so it's no advertising from me, but this ISO 16029 need to be better known. Okay. Well, I think we have to move on, say, Maria, MML. Well, there was a debate about the correlation between CO2 and VOC, and the two, well, with different opinion in the audience. Maria, can we continue with question, or shall we stop now?
I think that we can address another one question, even though we're we have already run out of time, but it's okay.
So for buildings such as office with only limited internal particle sources, why not use outside particle measurement to control ventilation? Air purification. That was a tricky one for the last one.
Thank you, Valerie.
I'm not doing the question.
Yes. For offices, for example, I know that in France we have some demand control ventilation based on CO2 sensors and so on optical sensors to control regarding the occupation. And I would say that to control ventilation on outside pollutants, it can be another regulation, another control. But it will not replace the control based on internal source. You can have over internal source than particles. So why not? Just be careful that yes, why not? And especially in when the outdoor air is very polluted. Okay, well, and then there is the debate on the CO2 and VOC, but I don't think we have time to go in there.